I remember going to the hospital, our dad telling us that Mom was sick, but that's about the extent of it. And then as we grew older, when she was in remission at that point, they told us a little bit more about it, like once they felt that we could handle it and understand it. But right when it happened, we didn't really know much other than that our mom was sick and she just needed to go to the hospital, go to the doctor. At that point, we just wanted to, I think, talk to our mom as much as we could, just be there for her as she underwent treatment. And I don't know, I think it was just all about spending as much time with her as we could.
She made a point that it didn't become the sole thing that my family focused on. Like, she made sure that we kept enjoying softball and school and social, and friends, and that we could still hang out as a family and not even talk about it, not even think about it. It wasn't like we sat around and cried every day. Like, we still enjoyed life because that's what she wanted. Like, I sometimes wonder if I could ever even have that strength if I tried. We lived our lives with this mentality that she was gonna fight forever. There was never any mourning before she passed away. It was always, let's go, let's fight, let's keep doing this. And let's enjoy life as if this isn't going on. And, sometimes I'm like, man, like, should I have felt that more, a little bit of sadness more that this was happening? But most times I'm just so grateful that we didn't just mill around on it, that we kept living as a family like we always had.
I think she was kind of, and she probably wouldn't like me saying this, but she was kind of centered in our softball. I think she, especially for me, was the driving factor to keep going in softball.
I remember her, being the hardest coach in Little League, and everyone gave her so much crap because she treated us 9-year-olds like we were in college already. But most of that team has gone on to play high-level high school or college ball.
She would always try to do something in a constructive manner. So, I remember one practice, we weren't getting our bunts down. We were practicing bunting and we just couldn't get our bunts down. So we all went through a line, single file line. If you didn't get your bunt down, you had to run around the fence, run around the outfield fence with your bat above your head. So,
and we were 9.
Safe to say, a lot of people didn't get their bunts down.
School was so important in our family. Getting good grades was so important to my mom. Even though we were working on softball, and for Bailey, she had volleyball and stuff too, but she would not let our grades slip. And Bailey would get grounded time after time for bringing home a B on her report card. And a lot of it was when I was in college, so it's kind of funny to look back on. I was looking back at another video my mom did before she passed away. She was just saying how she didn't want the focus to be on herself. She wanted it to be on us girls in Virginia Tech. And that's just how my mom was. It's you're not allowed to be self-centered. It's about other people. And that's really cool that we had that example growing up.
If at all possible, I think my advice would just be to soak up all the positive times you have with those people. Literally spend every second you can with them. Go home and visit them, call them on the phone, and don't fight about the silly little thing.
One of the hardest but greatest moments I think we ever had with our family was actually the moment when my mom went to be with the Lord. And I think that in that moment I just realized that God was working something so beautiful through all this. And it's so hard to see in that moment. It's so hard to trust. And I don't know realistically if you can just hand it over and be okay, God, whatever you're doing here, I know it's right. I trust you. But somehow Mom found strength to do that. Every day she found strength to be you know what, God, be you're doing this, and I'm gonna fight, and I'm gonna do what's responsible, but it's in your hands. And I think when you see it with that perspective, you can get through it. Because I don't know if we didn't have that, if we couldn't find some kind of hope, or we couldn't find some kind of joy in all of this, Like, I don't know where we'd be right now. If you can find that hope and that joy as a family, then there's good that can come out of it.
Because our mom was so prevalent in our life with softball, it was kind of a way to glorify her, kind of. I don't know, it was a way to just really like thank her, and I don't know, a way to think about her on a regular basis. So I don't know if it was so much of an escape, but it was a way to remember all the good things that she had done for us through that sport.
Even like after a really bad loss, Mom would get so excited to see us on that hill over there and talk to us after the game. And like those were just some really precious family moments that we got to have. It just so happened that they revolved around softball.
We got an email saying, oh, here's like the bench that they're creating. And then another email about a week later saying, oh, they put it in. So
we were like, oh, we
were
ran
like,
out here
oh,
to see
cool.
it. Yeah.
So ran out here, it was before practice. And of course we got all emotional again, but that's where my mom always used to sit. She would always sit on the hill and watch the games. Kind of funny because she knew that I hated her yelling at me. So
but she couldn't help herself.
She couldn't help.
She was a very vocal parent.
And it's not like yelling in a negative way, like all constructive, like positive stuff. I'm a diva.
There were only a few moments that week that really capped that moment when we told her that this was gonna happen. Because she knew that people could come and sit there and watch the game and cheer on softball just like she did. I think that was what made her so happy, is that she knew it wasn't just gonna end there.